want to point out though, that was Toshi's first loss on the Esmeralda. And Fusaken has been undefeated on the Grok. Those may be some good bands to take note of if you're going to be Onic or
they
SGD
stole it.
Omega.
They stole it. That's gonna be interesting. So at least the 100% is gonna be there, but again, not usable by Fusaken. I'm thinking about Atlas or Akai for Fusaken, or I think we might have to relegate back into the Kaja, right? Just because of the picks. I mean, Fusaken, he's such a great player, but you gotta admit, he's a little bit predictable on the draft.
Well, I think that can be a pro and a con too. Okay, sure, Fusaken will be predictable on the draft, but the way that he plays, he is known to be a kingmaker for a reason, and that is when it comes to the execution on how he uses the hero, because he could really turn something predictable into something unexpected in a way that can make SGD or specifically or any enemy team go by surprise, and that's what makes him, I think, one of the most flexible player here for the side of Onic PH.
Oh no, we're seeing a repeat of
Oh.
SG Dragons here.
Oh no.
We're seeing over the Hanzo. It's the same picks, you know. It's the Esmeralda and the Jawhead. If they pick Hanzo, I don't think that would be the wisest call here.
Nah, I don't think so. I think they've learned the lesson, I think, from the previous game. SGD already securing the carry, which means that's definitely going to be the funnel in.
The funneler.
Yeah.
The funnelist.
I like that they also stole the Kaja. That's great. Stealing the Kaja. It limits the Onic PH support and tank roles a lot. That's why they're leaving it on the last pick. We might see Akai here. I don't know. We might.
The return of the Panda himself.
Yeah, the Fusaken Akai. 100% win rate. Let's go.
That's true. That was 800%. Uranus is gonna be banned out.
Wait, but I can understand why, because you saw how SP utilizes the Uranus earlier. It was really tanky, and they kind of had a difficulty in taking him down, and it needed more people for them to really secure that kill. But going back right here, that was a good ban for side of Onic PH. And Sicilian, respect that for Oh My Venus.
Very
pretty smart. That is actually great. I think so. That's usually what Onic does. They have the mainline Kimmy, and then they'll have someone like a burst mage, usually Sicilian, usually sometimes a Valier, just be on the sides, make sure that they can have some damage, balance out the physical and the magical damage output of the team. So banning it out is actually pretty smart, but the Forza is again still available, which is vulnerable to a Natalia. So SGD might still be able to pick up Natalia if they wanted to.
Your team is picking.
2 picks that are vulnerable to Natalia, by the way.
Yeah, the key.
Natalia being picked up, that's a good choice.
That is right.
Yeah,
that's a great choice. Good luck, Feather Airstrike. Good luck, Kimmy. I mean, that's what you want.
I mean, I'm already seeing a very, very balanced lineup here just from these 4 picks. The potential 4th pick on the thumbs as well.
Yeah.
They can pick up the Natalia as the last one. No, they're
not.
gonna hover up the Masha.
No, they're not. Masha?
Really?
They did.
Oh,
Masha
really?
was a while.
They did. Oh,
Your
with the
team is picking.
Export. They were already there. They could have picked the Natalia, but they did not want to risk it. Again, the draft. I have to respect the draft SGD because that's Dale. You can't say anything bad about Dale. But I think that might have been it. They could have had it. This makes it like a full dive composition here.
Okay, this is interesting, really. But going for the X-Borg and Masha here, I think this is very SGD. Going for the sturdy composition and to really focus onto the funneling to the carry. But for the side of Onic PH, though, I find this very interesting because they have both the initiation and the follow-up support, so pretty interesting.
And I feel like SGD is gonna go for a sort of a macro strat here, with that Masha being in the equation.
All right, so what do we have here? Nomad and Seiya. Are you a fan of the Masha? Are you going SGD? Or are we going to 2-0 today?
I mean, I'm a Masha user, and the only way Masha can win games is aside from being in team fights and disarming the marksman is to just split push. If SGD can do that, SGD can force a game number 3. But looking at the draft here by Onic PH, I'm gonna have to trust Onic PH here.
And I will agree with Nomad here. I will go to Onic as well.
That's a 3-0 Onic here on the analyst desk. I have to agree, Masha is great, but it might have a hard time fighting off against the SGD.
Could have been
lineup.
better if it wasn't Natalia.
Exactly. Natalia for reals. You know, all of us here want Natalia. I wonder if Wolf and Leo will think the same. The animal duo, take it away.
Thank you so much, Rockheart and Nomad and Seiya. Wonderful panel once again. I think that they have said a lot of good points, and I think we agree. Here at the caster's desk, my name is Wolf with Leo, the Animals, your casting duo. We believe that this Masha, or at least I believe that this Masha will have a little bit of a problem, even when it's theoretically strong against noble type of compositions. In this meta that we're playing in, I think Masha will not be able to outspeed a Kimi push, specifically if this is Onic PH, the gods of macro. But what do you think, Leo?
I believe in game 1, you mentioned this earlier, and then I'd like to build upon this point. There's a mental toll on you after losing a 54-minute game. And I think it's going to come into play here, and it may have affected the draft. SGD Omega here may have played into Onic PH's draft, and in game 1, I gotta say, they won, right? In game 1, they won the draft, but they lost the match. Here, given that they're on even playing field, so to speak, they have the same wavelength, I'll give the advantage to Onic. So, with that being said, man, Wise on that Kimi now using a flame shot.
Okay.
This is going to spell disaster, I think, for SGD Omega's early game.
So maybe you're wondering why flame shot. But we'll see. Because there could be Yakmu, did he steal it? No. It's taken by heat. So that's one thing you should do. But Onic PH is okay. We'll give it the red up top, and we'll take your red, which makes it more awkward for you, because this time, our core has got the red buff, and your support has the red buff. So in terms of like effectiveness, definitely you're gonna favor the side of Onic PH. Nice dash away. Oh my goodness.
Almost taking heat along the way.
You see, I want to explain why Flame Shot was the choice here for Wise. The first reason is relative flicker or purify doesn't make sense against the Kaja anymore.
Yeah.
And what you just do is, if Haze jumps you, try to dash away or push him back with a flame shot. And there's the rest of Onic PH to take him down.
Yeah, that's the new function of flame shot. No longer is it the bursting menace that it once was in season 4 or earlier in season 5, but now it's more of a utility pickup. It's a pushback type of deal, and that's exactly what you need on a hero like Kimi, used by Wise. Now they seem to be collapsing up top, pressuring Hajizi here. Man, this is a good move on Onic PH. They're keeping Toshi's Masha down. But look at this down bottom. Kenji exploding onto Dilar's face. And Dilar gets away with a sliver of health. As I was saying, I think this is nice. You make sure that the Masha is not able to do good Masha things.
Yeah. But I think it's still a pretty good start for SGD Omega on all sense of the game. The fact that they are still controlling Wise, it's good. And they are also getting some farm onto Kenji as well as Toshi, so that's okay. It's not that flashy for Hajizi, but you could say that Hajizi might be just waiting for items to go. See, very nice rotation in there. I mean, we were hyping a lot about Fuzak and Grok, but this guy, Heath on the Grok, is also really scary.
Yeah, Mr. Fundamentals himself, Heath here. Again, I think the story of this weekend's Groks are do not be afraid to do one-man wild charges, because those are worth it now.
Yeah, that's right. Specifically in the early stages of the game.
This is an easy turtle here, taken by Hajizi. There you go. SGD Omega now cementing their early game lead, about 1,000 gold and change now ahead of Onic PH. I wonder where Onic is gonna start to collapse onto them, like where they're gonna start their first push.
Yeah.
Or when.
Yes. I like that. I like it. I like that you asked that because after game number 1, and if you look back a little bit about the games of Onic PH when they pick up the Kimi, you have to forget our 2019 mentality that Kimi is just for pushing early game. I think Onic PH have told us, okay, it's okay to not get the push even until the 20th minute mark.
Yep. I think for Onic, it's less of a when and more of a how.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they eventually will. Like, you just gotta trust in the king, the queen, and the kingmaker, because they're gonna make it work at some point. Oh, but look at this now. Blind spot push down bottom by Hajizi and Hayes. I wonder if they spot anyone out. Hayes has the Divine Judgment on. Oh, actually, he used it up. We're waiting for it on cooldown. Who's okay with the jump though onto Hayes? Kenji with the defense. No lasting sanity onto the bouncing ball. But they do have some artillery, but it's not going to be enough. They actually trade now. Hayes for Fuzaken. Down goes Venus. Hajizi pulls the trigger, and Vilar cannot do anything to defend. That's a 2-for-1 in favor of Omega.
Oh, top lane though.
Hoshi gets wise. How did that happen?
That should not happen. I mean, Weiss has still got Flame Shot available, so that's a weird interaction. Onic. A lot of missed calls from Onic PH, honestly.
Yeah.
They look lost this game. Are they the ones who were tired out of that victory? Maybe.
Possibly. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, as a part of our studies throughout the whole season, we did notice that Onic has a tendency to get tired out or to lose composure, right? Towards the late game, they would somehow tilt or get salty, but in game 1 they didn't. So maybe now we're seeing it, an extended effect of that?
I think so. We'll see. As Onic PH, it's not yet over. They put themselves in this position in the previous game, albeit much worse. But I guess the problem is SGD Omega didn't have a pushing but hero in the previous game. This time they have Masha. And they have the Grok as well, so they can just literally brute force their way in to taking down the turrets. That's an option for them. So Onic PH. Oh, I see now the difference of Kufra and Grok. Because with Kufra, you kind of have to hide. Nice flicker away from Hayes. Stops the packet's rage. Now.
Oh, down goes Wise again. Oh wait, yes.
Oh, PH. They have
We're saying the difference. Fuzaken has to hide, right?
Wow. Fuzaken has to hide, and the Grok can literally show himself anywhere.
Yep, and it doesn't matter. He'll get you anyways.
So here's the deal. For Onic PH, they don't have that hero that can run around the map, I would say. Perhaps you can argue that about the Esmeralda, but if Esmeralda gets taken out, I mean, it's found out by SGD, they can lose it. Fuzaken, look at that jump, and duly punished by SGD Omega. Come right here. You want to go here? Come at us, and we'll take you. That's Taze, by the way. I like that he is playing the Kaja because this is not about being flashy. It's more about decision making, and that's what SGD Omega needs. They need a commander that can really call the shots.
Yeah, and I think the veterancy of Hayes, already one-time MPL champion, is gonna come into play here. You know what? I just gotta notice Hajizi, man, they've been feeding him the kills really well currently. 7 minutes in, 6 kills already with a bounty hunter. That's a kill per minute. That's a lot of free gold.
Oh, they are leading with 7,000 early stage in the game. Hold on. So it's just 7 minutes in, and they have already amassed about 9,000 in terms of gold, going even further. So it's this time it's definitely a big problem for Onic PH.
Yeah,
Surely you would feel that the previous game was worse, but this is even bad. I don't know.
Badder.
I don't know. Badder.
Worse with a T. Worse with a T.
Worse with a T.
Yeah.
Worse with a T.
Oh, now and look at just like that, Wolf. I think this is man, a replay of last game's story, because this is what it looked like again. Under 10 minutes with no towers pushed by Onic PH. I think they're just about to get into gear. Maybe, just maybe, if we're gonna take game one as a measuring stick.
Okay. Was it a... So I think it's more like a gut check for SGD Omega? About a 50-minute gut check.
50-minute gut check, a 50-minute download. Fuzaken goes down. Kajizi once more. Why though? That is the most expensive gut check I've ever seen in MPL history.
Yeah. So honestly, I thought that the Kufra makes a lot of sense. But if you think about it, Kufra's main problem when drafted, and specifically this is when the double tank setup was prevalent. Kufra was so strong when there's an initial tank in there to kind of scout things up, because Kufra is not a hero that you put in the map walking around looking for initiations. That's Akai and Grok, but not Kufra. Kufra needs a different tank in there. So maybe if they drafted Uranus for Onic PH, that could have been better when it comes to synergy with the Kufra. But this time, there's no hero like that to help Fuzaken really shine in this game. So I think for Fuzaken, he needs to channel the Honda Beast Kufra if they want to come back this game. But that's not the flicker. But there you go, jumping from Haze. Punishment is there, but of course, heroes in exchange might even be 3 as the Farsa goes down. And Onic PH, after winning a 54-minute match, they might lose a 12-minute or maybe an 11-minute. Might be over, Leo. I think
was that them winning the battle but losing the war? Because that's what this feels like right now. 10 minutes in, here's the penetrate by SGD Omega. Down goes the very last turret in mid. And 5 seconds off of a life cooldown here, the respawn. And they're gonna go for the base. It's over just like that. Cool. It's anticlimactic. Well, congratulations to SGD